Beautiful coven, welcome back to the witching half hour or so. I'm so glad you could join me. I have a very special episode today. It's an interview with my friends Kelly and Sheila, who put together a beautiful deck, the Soul Alchemy deck. It's made out of light language and color alchemy. While I was editing, I noticed we never said the name of the deck. I'm going to put a photo in the show notes for sure, and that is the name. It's the Soul Alchemy deck. Another note, this recording came together while I was stranded in Tofino. I got stuck there in early June, so it's recorded straight up on my laptop with a headset. I didn't have my microphone. I was in my trailer. I didn't have any of my equipment. So the audio is not awesome, but the content is pretty amazing. It's amazing we were able to record without any lag and to get this out to you. I have done an extended cut on the Patreon. If you are a member, you will get that. It's the Zoom video, so you can see our faces, you can see the cards, and it includes a reading from the ladies to me. So about halfway or 3/4 of the way through the audio, there's going to be a little bit of our theme music, just to signify that we've popped out for that reading and that we're picking up the conversation where it feels good to pick it up again. Okay. Pop in your earbuds, Coven. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the witching half hour or so. I am here today. I'm so excited to have two lovely friends with me. I have Sheila Raadschelders of Rad Crystals and Kelly DelBiance. And what we are talking about today, you guys, I'm so excited to all of you in the Earbud Coven. These beautiful women have put together the most amazing deck. Now, we know I love tarot. There's only two decks I read from for myself. One is this deck. So I have these beautiful women, and instead of me talking about it, I'd love to have them share how they birthed this beautiful deck and its essence and what it's all about.
Okay, so Kelly, do you want to start or should I?
Yeah, well, I guess I can talk to how the deck came to me, right? For those listening, I am a light language channeler, have been since I was 18, been writing funny symbols throughout my life and started to write light language, as well as when other people speak it, I have an understanding of what's being said, of a feeling of what they're talking about, what's coming forward, to the point that sometimes it makes me laugh. So I was writing all these funny squiggles and dots and things, and I knew that it was light language, and I was like, but why am I writing all of this? What is the point of this, right? And I had a message come to me that said that, no, these are for a deck. And I'm like, a deck? A deck with light language? I'm like, So I started researching that, and I couldn't find a really good deck with light language. I was like, okay, so this is going to be one and done, right? Like, wow. And the next message that came out to me was that I needed to involve Sheila because they had to have color coding on them. So not only did they have the light language, but they needed to have color coding that would activate the light language further. Because the process, and one of the things when you look at our cards is they don't have straight lines. They're not done by a computer where every line is straight and everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. They're rudimentary on purpose. Because what my guides, the galactics that were giving it to me, were saying is that we've got to give it to you. Then it has to come from your hand onto the paper. Then you're going to take that and transfer it into the computer. Then it's going to go into a system to print out the cards. Then it has to go on the cards, and that energy all has to be transported through all those different realms to continue the flow of the deck. So they insisted that they have to be exactly as they were produced. in their rudimentary form, they hold the power that they're supposed to have. So that's what happened. I was just writing light language at 2:00 in the morning, and bam, there it was. And that's what it was supposed to be. Yeah.
And it's true when you hold them in your hand, because Kelly taught me how to work with them, and you can feel it. You can feel how imbued with, I want to say, wisdom and power, but also with just this pure love. Like the wisdom that comes through, even when I've pulled a card at a difficult time, I don't know if love is, there's such a beautiful, compassionate aspect, even to some very hit me across the face, wake up girl kind of messages I've gotten from it.
Yeah, it's because they're soul cards, right? Mm-hmm. And the messages come from the soul. They link you to your soul. That was the whole purpose of the card. So not only are they forward in being light language and color alchemy together, but they're forward in that they're cards through the light language and color alchemy that the soul is messaging you.
Mm-hmm. So
beautiful. When your soul is coming forward, yeah, there's so much compassion and love in that, right? But your soul can also be very direct. Mm-hmm. And the cards are made for you to think. They're not like average oracle cards. So when we have a very tiny book that gives you a very tiny explanation, and the reason we don't have paragraphs written is because it's your soul talking to you. There's not going to be the same answer for every single person. So when you use the cards, you have to tune in.
Absolutely. It's really being one with your primitive emotional self, right? It's really on the color scale. It's really about being one with your sacral, and that particular chakra is the one that gets put on the side the most, right? Who really wants to delve deep into their true self? Do you know what I'm saying? Because we have all these labels about ourselves and who we are and what we are. And this particular deck cuts through all that. There is Kelly's energy, my energy, your energy, right? Our true self.
So when you were saying, Sheila, about the sacral, I know your understanding of color and the chakra system it's beautiful. It's your chef kiss. You're just chef kiss about it. I love your reels on all the Instagrams, and we will link your account, because you say such poignant things in a tiny little package. I love it. So can you tell us more about that sacral chakra and why kind of collectively you feel, and I know this is your opinion, we kind of ignore it a bit?
Right. Your sacral chakra is your primitive emotional self. It is the self that was before the layers of everybody else's stuff was put upon you. Because let's face it, even from infancy, we have had layers of, well, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be successful, you're going to have the white picket fence, blah, 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 right? And that's maybe not our true self. Maybe our true self is somebody that belongs in a nudist colony because we want to bear it all. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe some of us were meant to be a monk, not a customer service person at Best Buy. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
The people around us, they mean well, but they have ideas, and they aren't our ideas. And I believe through my color visionary and my alchemy part of me, I have discovered that the sacral is our true self. And that's the self that a lot of us hide because a lot of us don't want to know. It can be a scary thing, right? It can be a scary thing. And also with the orange, a lot of people call it the inner child, and in a way it is, but when you take it to the next level, it's where we actually see everything. We see the fairies, we see the dragons, we see energy, we see aura, because the sacral, the orange, is one of the happiest colors there is. It's a happy, happy color. And when we're happy, 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 that's when true change happens. Do you know? It's hard to change when you're miserable. Right?
I love that. I want to say that again. When we're truly happy, that's when the change can happen. It's difficult and it's strange because as humans, being miserable motivates us.
Yes.
To move away from misery, right?
Yeah.
But it's very interesting that the alchemy, the creative, the passion of creativity that comes out of happiness and joy and being attuned with yourself and who you are at your core.
And there's been so much unhappiness because of the pandemic that to rise above that right now is super difficult. You have to be really the Hulk or Hercules to get it done. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with these cards, it kind of bypasses a whole bunch of stuff just to get down to the nitty gritty into that primitive self and just say, oh my God, I didn't realize that this was happening, or I wasn't connected here, or what have you. Right. So, when you pick up one of these and you're feeling it and you're looking at it and you're going, oh yeah, I'm looking at this going, oh yeah, I'm not rooted. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Everything I'm doing is for everybody else and nothing for me. So I'm in a quandary right now. So I have to rearrange a few things to make that happen. Right. So that's what I love about these cards. And again, it's not about a 3-page write-up. It's about those 3 little words, get yourself rooted. Right. Yeah. And again, yeah.
Yeah. You know how the story that I like to tell sometimes about Soul is that imagine you're in a taxi and Soul is driving the taxi and you're in the back seat. And you're going to Soul, oh, stop. I want to go over to that candy store. Oh, stop. I want to go that diversion down that alley. Oh, stop. And Soul's going like, get in the car. Let's go. Let's go. I'm trying to go forward. And there where the meter's going, it's your life going tick, 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 right? And you're in the back making all these distractions and wanting to head off in every direction. And Soul is in the front trying to drive the cab for you, and you're not allowing Soul to take you to where Soul wants to go. So these cards are like Soul saying, look, you need to do this. It's like the taxi driver saying, look, we need to get here, right? These cards allow your soul to give you the message about how it wants to drive you forward and where you need to step forward.
I know that I've pulled them out when I'm wrestling with something. You girls know I have a lot that I've been clearing and rebuilding. And when I'm wrestling with something and I'm not quite sure, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is what's coming up. Like I'll have a theme come up and I'll be like, that really what I need to be working at? Is that what's coming up? Like I'll be full of a lot of emotion and I'll go, okay, I need to know where the root of this emotion is so I can do the work and I can clear it or compassion myself through it or love myself through it, whatever the thing is, right? And sure enough, I pull it out and it'll be like, bang, yes, you were thinking it was the right thing. So I love the way that when I'm in an upheaval moment, it can give me the wisdom I'm looking for. And also they're great at confirming. Like if you are one of the people out there doing your work, these cards are so beautiful at confirming that you are on that path, right? The next piece that you need to unravel or the next chain you need to break or the next.
Yeah, it's like Soul going, here's your directive. Here's your directive. This is where I want you to take the taxi to. Let's go. Let's get going, right? Here is what you need to know, either because you're sitting in the back seat looking around, not knowing where to go, or you're wanting the confirmation, like, let's go forward. You're right. So this is what Soul is doing with these cards, right? Is helping you. I know a lot of people that use them for the same purpose that you use them for, Jody. I recently had someone use them. She was teaching a class online, like a class for development, but for people that are already spiritual and in spiritual business. Yeah. And she had a group of like 15 and she pulled a card from the deck for everyone. And she messaged me saying, OMG, the cards were right on for everybody and they all totally understood where they needed to go forward. So they're so appropriate for movement. Yeah.
I like that. So now I think the story of how your two pieces came together is amazing. So I got to get that story because Kelly told me, and I was how the deck came because you guys didn't write it together. You didn't you wrote it as a team, but you didn't sit in a room together writing it. You both knew what was going to happen, sort of-ish. So please tell us.
Well, the thing is, Kelly channeled the light language first. And what's amazing is I already knew what the words were, okay? Even though light language is not my forte. So, and Kelly would say, hey, look at this word. What do you think? And I'm like, that means attunement. And she's just like, Oh my God. Oh my God. I had the words given to me because color is from the sun and the rainbow. It is a direct connection to your innermost self anyway. Right. So when the colors came up for me for those particular words, it was just like, wow, like two modalities that are so like far apart, but really are totally integrated, just came together on that page.
I had spent many nights early in the hours of writing all of the light language words. And I mean like 2 and 3 in the morning, writing all this light language out. And then I would write some and I go, no, that's not right. It's not right. I cross it out. So it took me a long time because I was writing so many to not be in here, right? And to let it flow. And then when I had those, I said to Sheila, I sent Sheila a copy just of the picture of the light language, right? Of what they looked like. There was no words, there was nothing. And we said, okay, let's write down 2 or 3 words that we think each one is. So we gave each light language thing a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, right? I think we had like 23, 24, I can't remember. And I said, you do yours, I'll do mine, and then we'll get back together. We got back together. So when she said, I said attunement, we both had the same words written down for every single light language sim. Okay. It was, if it wasn't the same, it was the same meaning. Right. So we had everything the same for all of them and we hadn't done it together. Then Sheila took them and put the color on them. And then we had to decide how were we going to, we didn't want to put numbers on them. Spirit said we couldn't put numbers on them because it would change the energy with the numerology on them. So we couldn't. And so they gave the master symbols that are in the right-hand corner of each card. Okay. So we had the master symbols. So we laid the master symbols out and we were together. We laid the master symbols out and we said, okay, now we've got to take all these light language, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever we have, and we have to group them under the master symbols, right? So let's just go through them and group like what master symbol they go under. So we took number 1, we looked at the master symbols because we worked out what the master symbols were. We both got it right. We didn't talk about it. The master symbols came out between the two of us. So then we put, okay, let's put 1 in this master symbol. Let's put 3 in that master symbol. We went through them all and we just were putting them in the master symbols. We didn't even think about it. And at the end, Sheila goes, oh, and I said, what? She goes, I want you to add the numbers up in this row of this master symbol, like card number 23, card number 2, add them up. Each master symbol with the cards that we put in, add it to a master number.
Whoa, what?
You can, yes, they add it to a master number, 7, 9, 11, 8. I all add it to a master number. And we didn't do it that way. We just put them in randomly how the energy felt appropriate to us.
What a beautiful confirmation though. Because like, I know sometimes when we're working with spirit and we're like, is it, am I getting it right? Because I feel because we actually care about the work we do, I don't always, how do I want to say this? When I'm doing a reading, I check in. Is this my human side? Is this what I want? Or is this in my truth cord? Is this the message? Is this what needs to be heard, right? So to have that kind of confirmation come through in such a succinct, like you cannot make this stuff up.
We couldn't because we never even tried
to do it.
No.
You would never. But then to go and notice that and go, oh my goodness, look. And to have that kind of confirmation, like what a way to know you did a good job.
Yes, and when we were doing it, we were putting them in. Sheila would go, I would say, or Sheila would say, or I would say, do you think it goes there? And then we'd go like, then we would talk about it a bit, and then we would ask. And I would say, okay, so what do you think, Spirit? So we get a little confirmation. I say, okay, yeah, no, Sheila, you're right. It needs to go there. Or Sheila would go, no, put it over there. Or let's put it over here and then we'll put it back, right? That's, because when you're trying to deal with so many things and so many feelings and so much energy at once, we thought it was going to be challenging, but it was like that. It was like that. And that's what made the confirmation that the cards were what they were supposed to be, because they just kept flowing in this certain way that was so simple. and non-complicated, right? And then we had to come up with, we have to come up with something for the front of the card. So the front of the card, I asked for the soul symbol, and that was the soul symbol that was given to us. Sheila, you can talk to the color.
Well, the turquoise and the violet color, of course, violet, as most of us are taught, is the crown chakra, okay? A lot of us are taught that it's connection to source, God, universe, whatever. But there's more to it. And this is the part that people don't quite understand. It's also a connection to yourself. Okay. It's the connection to the people around you, to your fellow man. It's connection to the plants, to the animals, to the waterways, to everything, right? There's more to connection than just, I'm going to meditate my connection with God. There's more to it than that. Okay. The crown chakra is extremely complex and complicated. It's not as simple as people think. Again, because they think, right? They're not feeling it. They're not really absorbing the color. Because again, the color, when you break the chakras down, the first thing is the color. So now that's like the connection part here. Now the turquoise part, the turquoise part is actually almost like vibrates almost at a unicorn kind of level, that really high vibe, extremely spiritual color, right? And again, turquoise is blue and green. Okay. So when we look at blue and green, yes, it's the throat chakra. Yes, it's the heart chakra. But when we look at turquoise, really means it is the flow of everything through a kindness and compassion portal. Okay. Because that is what blue and green, the turquoise color is really all about, right? So again, when we think about turquoise, it is the true flow of everything in a kind and compassionate manner. So when you look at the colors for soul, it is your connection with kindness and compassion and true flow. That's your soul. And that's why those two colors are there.
I want to repeat that because I think that's so interesting. So when we talk about the crown chakra, that purple color, we're not just talking about connecting to source. We're talking about connection expansively. So with all, like your highest self, your spirit self, the collective conscience, the plant world, the animal world, that just connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you add that teal color. And I have to tell you guys, that's my favorite color. So to hear, and like I'm listening to you, I'm almost like I'm all goosebumpy and I'm almost like getting teary because for years that has been my favorite color.
Yeah.
And bright tealy blue.
Yeah. And again, when we break color down, we break down our favorite colors to their true components, or the components that I see or that I know about because color language was given to me as light language was given to Kelly, right? It's when you combine both of those together or even keep them singly, when you actually start thinking about it, you're just like, wow, right? Wow. Light language, again, touches us everywhere. Color language touches us everywhere. And when Kelly and I are together and when we do things together, that's what people are really tapping into.
Yeah.
Right. They're tapping into an energy that is unlike anything that they have ever felt before. Right. Because we are truly strong in what we do. Because again, it is our true selves and we understand that about each other.
So one thing I want to talk about with the cards is I want to talk a little bit about the light language. So I've got this card here in my hand. Is this the infinity one? I think
it's infinity. Yeah.
Okay. It's the infinity card. And so when you take these cards, the instructions in the deck will tell you to take it and hold it with the light language in your palm, right? And to just hold it in your hand. But the minute that you take the light language and the color alchemy on the card and you put it in your palm, it's downloading to your spiritual DNA. The minute it touches you, the light language is downloading and the color alchemy is assisting that and utilizing its own alchemy inside you. So the minute you work with these cards, light language is working in you. It just as when somebody sings it or speaks it in front of you and it stays and it resonates and works within your spiritual DNA, when you apply the light language and color alchemy to your palm, it downloads and it's working the exact same way. So not only are you getting the message from the cards, but you're getting a download of light language and color alchemy into you. And that's what differentiates these cards. And that's why when people feel them, they're like, wow, but they're feeling that energy pouring into them.
Yeah, a lot of people say that they feel warmth in their hand. It's like, yeah, yeah, of course you feel warm because things are happening inside you. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
So the cards really work in a dual form. One for reading, but actually as a download as well.
Mm-hmm. And I know you had told me that, and I do hold them, and it makes sense because your heart chakra is in your hands. Your little swirls on your paws, that's an extension of your heart chakra, is how it was explained to me. So sometimes when I'm working with them, I'll even put it right on my heart chakra. Especially, if I'm really emotive and I'm like, I'm emotive, I gotta clear, I will put it right on my heart chakra because I trust you girls. I trust you, my sisters, right?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
And it has done beautiful healing. The last time I used it really deeply, I was coming back again. I was in Tofino during storm season. There had been this huge storm in January. I spent time on the beaches with all that energy just swirling and the waves crashing. And I did some of the deep, deep release work. And I was just weeping and weeping. I'm like, I need help. I'm like, where is my deck? So I grabbed my light language deck and the card, and I think it was the infinity card I pulled, because I'm like, it just feels like, I'm closing a chapter. I'm weeping out so much this week. And I just held it on my heart chakra and I just cried and cried, knowing that I was in tune with that wisdom.
Yeah.
And it actually felt like I was being witnessed in my release.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I've had people be so attracted to this deck when they just see it sitting there and when they pick it up. But I've seen other people pick it up and go, ooh, and put it down because they're not ready for the energy of the deck, right? They're not ready to open up that part of themselves, right? And so they feel the energy, but they're not understanding what it is, right? So Sheila, if I pull a card here for Jody, should we? You can, you know them off by heart. Yeah, and we talked about, you interviewed me for the Jacob Collective, right?
Yeah.
And the Jacob Collective is always saying that people in spirituality are stuck in their spirituality and they're not allowing the expansion for themselves to happen. And instead of allowing the expansion of the consciousness and of the energy and understanding what that truly means in the collective, and that, for you, it's coming. And that's what I'm saying to you. It's coming, like that opening past what we think spirituality is, what we've been trained and taught about what spirituality is. There is so much more to open, and you are right going through that cusp right now. And I love that.
I feel too, I've been getting a lot of information about how it's so connected to community. Like there's a big community piece about it. And I've even been hearing from my guides that I need to let go of whether or not I'm ready, because I just have to do.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Right? I just have to do.
You have to follow soul, right?
Yeah, because I'm never going to feel ready. If I wait until I feel ready, I'll be in the back of that taxi, Kelly, going, okay, maybe we could make the turn now. I don't know. Is there oncoming traffic?
Right. Yeah, like we hold soul up so bad, and we hold up our direction so bad because we look at all the shiny things going around us. And one of them is money, right? Another one is possessions. Another one is ego that wants us to show everyone we're successful and that we're at the top of what we do, right? Versus, no, it's about the collective, because really from the working with the Jacob Collective, we are here to raise our vibration and our alignment to affect the collective whole, to affect the earth, to make way for the new earth, right? And this is, you can't do that if you're not allowing the expansion of consciousness beyond what we believe spirituality to happen. It can't happen.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, here I am getting all philosophical now. Sorry, ladies.
That's okay. You're loud.
But that's part of why, for Sheila and I, the cards were created too, is to allow people the opportunity to know what soul wants you to do, like pay attention, right? If soul has a lot to say to people, and people are not paying attention. They're connecting to their higher self, but they're not really connecting into the true essence of their soul and paying attention to what the soul wants and why you are here. You are a soul with a physical body inside it, not a physical body with a soul residing inside it. You are a soul with a physical body residing in it, right? And your soul is your driver. So you need to pay attention.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that driver
Absolutely.
analogy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For me, it's all about we are all color. Okay. We are all color. It's just our skin that covers it up. So, because you'll be so bright, you'll burn everybody's retinas out, right?
I think everyone should listen to that you are so bright.
Yeah.
That you can burn retinas out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
right.
You really are. Everyone who's got their earbuds in, you are so bright.
Yeah. So I always get a kick out of people that say, "Oh, I can see your aura," and I'm like, "If you could," again, because because I deal with people on their color level, on their primitive level at all times. So because I know how to access my primitive level to match your primitive level.
Sheila, what do you mean by primitive level? Maybe people need to understand that.
Okay,
what do you mean by that?
Your primitive level is your true authentic self. Okay, your true authentic self. Now you can say, I'm a banker, I'm a candlestick maker, I'm a whatever, but that's not your true authentic self. Your true authentic self is kind or not. Your true authentic self is a dog lover or not. Okay. Your true authentic self likes grapes and not cherries. Okay. All those little things are our true selves. So when I look at Jody, I don't really see long hair or tattoos or anything like that. I just see somebody that burns green pretty much 100% all the time. And to me, green means very different things than it's just the heart chakra and she's a compassionate person and is a, somebody that likes to please people. There's more to it than that on my scale, right? So when I see Jody as a true green, to me, that says that her compassion level is extremely high. Her moral center, when it comes to helping the human race in the best way that is true for it, not what they want, but it's true for it, that would be a Jody response, right? So when people say, oh yeah, Jody really cleaned my house from all spiritual entities, I'm like, yeah, that's her greenness coming out, man, like big time. So, I'm not surprised that is a strength for you. Do you understand what I mean? So I see people on that level.
And, Sheila introduces with color, and I see you in a different way. I see the essence of your spirituality, right? But I also see the depth of your pain as a human being. I look, and I've called myself a seer for a long time, but what I'm learning is that I'm really a master spiritual navigator, because I can navigate through people's lives and through their spirituality and understand where they're at and what's going on. And I think for Sheila and I, bringing that combination together in the cards just brought magic, and spirit just like created magic. Like Sheila and I are very opposite in many ways. Who'd have thunk that we would be close friends? Who'd have thunk it? We are so opposite, really. But spirit had a plan with us all along, right? There was a plan for us to meet. There was a plan for us to become friends. There was a plan for something to occur. And the first thing was the cards, right? But I feel like part of my mission is to help others find their mission, to help them navigate forward.
Yeah.
So now, ladies, what is next for you guys? Do you have any plans? Do you have any secret projects?
Well, there are always secret projects, okay? Because, for Kelly and I, writing is now coming forward for both of us, okay? In different ways, but writing is coming forward. I think that is a super exciting period for us.
And so for me, in writing the book, I'm going to write a book with the Jacob Collective, right? So that's where I'm at with that right now. Right now, I'm just revamping my website to make it more where I'm at now. And Sheila and I do have a couple more card decks in the works, but we're waiting for this one to go a little bit further before we start the next one, because we do have one for mind and we do have one for body.
Yeah. It's going to, in the end, and again, our time and spiritual time are two different times. Okay. Mm-hmm. So in human time, if it takes 10 years, that's fine. In spirit time, it's been 2.2 seconds. Do you know what I'm saying? So it'll come as it should come when it needs to come.
Yeah. I'll start writing crazy light language stuff at 2:00 in the morning again.
And then she'll call me with it going, "Hey, are you up?" And I'm like,
2:30 in the morning. Guess what? It's time.
Right.
Yeah. And I think Sheila and I do have a couple secret projects. Maybe one of them I'll just tease is with the archangels, and we'll just leave it as that.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. That's good for you guys. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And, Sheila creates for me. She'll just come to me and say, "Kelly, I got to drop something off for you." And I'll say, "Okay." She'll come over to my house. She go, "I made this spray for you because you need this spray when you're working with the Jacob Plex." Sheila's very good with her products.
Yes, she is. My crazy dog. You have calmed my crazy dog down. I love your pet anxiety spray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
Sheila, shamelessly plug your business, please. That's what this platform is for. Tell us.
Okay. So my business is called Rad Crystals. It's RAADCRYSTALS, and I use RAAD because my last name is Raadschelders. And Rad Crystals is all about taking it to the next level. Like the chakra gloves and the colors and the sprays and the dragons and the fairies and the unicorns, they're all part of who we are. The part that we turned off, we need to turn back on.
People want to get hold of me, you can reach me at kellydelbianco.ca. By the time this comes out, my new website will be revamped. And if you need a master spiritual navigator to help yourself figure out what you need to deal with, or if you want to move yourself forward spiritually, you just need to reach out to me on my website.
Well, and I'm just going to say this on my Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel too. So subscribe to that, please, everybody. Mm-hmm. And on my Instagram, I'll be doing a lot of fairs this coming 3-4 months. So if you want to meet me in person, just go on my Instagram page. You'll find where I'm going to be. Okay.
Oh, yes. I love that. And as always, I'll put links and everything will be in the show notes. The show notes on my webpage will have all the links permanently. There'll be a link in the description of the episode. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be like an episode plus a bonus episode. We've got so much deliciousness. So I think we'll put this one partially in the Patreon. So if you want to, I think part of the part I might put in the Patreon is when you guys did my reading, because that was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, it's readings are actually one of the best communication tools that anybody who's in the spiritual world has.
Yeah. And so the cards you can read for yourself, but you can use them to read for others too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great communication tool between you and any other human on the planet, or your dog, really, because your dog has a soul too. Let him pick out a card.
Oh.
Jody.
Jody just
had a moment. Do that.
Jody just had a moment.
She just sat up. She's like, "What are we doing?"
I must say, it's really an honor for you to have us on here and help us promote our cards. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, the honor is all mine. I love it. I'm so glad it all worked out. And my battery in my laptop lasted this long.
Oh, yay. Thank you, Spirit.
We had a lot of helpers get this done. Not a bit of lag. Nothing.
Yes.
I'm literally stranded in Tofino.